Remember this. When people go through something like this, and I'm just going to say death, when somebody loses their soulmate, their lover, their bestest friend in the whole wide world, there are no words. Just be there for them. Whether it's to watch them cry, watch them breathe.
Are you ready to share your story? To leave a legacy? Get the Podpreneur podcast system for only $197. It's a Black Friday special now through November 30th. Go to www.coachlori.com and start podcasting or just sharing your story without publishing it.
Has your life, your dreams been interrupted? Good news. It is possible to reinvent our lives. People are doing it every day, and some are brave enough to share the struggles, disappointments, and challenges. If you are looking for a new beginning, a do-over, or to rediscover your passion, maybe even find a new one, then grab a cup of coffee and let's talk. Interrupted, Act 2, Reinventing Your Legacy, with your host, Coach Lori.
Let me tell you about Lisa Russell. Welcome first.
Thank you. Thank you.
I met Lisa, and when I say met Lisa, I felt like she was my friend, but she had no idea who I was. You see, during COVID, I was a single, I still am, living alone. My world had shrunk drastically, and I kept seeing these Facebook lives of this woman doing makeup, and that's not my thing. I would never really watch a makeup tutorial unless maybe I want to learn something new, but it wasn't my thing. But I told my sister, we swam in the mornings, and I told my sister, I don't know what it is, but I can't stop watching her. And so I thought about Lisa a lot. And what I realized was I felt like you were talking to me. It was as though I was having coffee with you every morning. You weren't teaching me about makeup. You were putting on your makeup, and maybe I'll learn a tip or two. But you talked about your chickens. You just talked about so many amazing things. And then one day in my network marketing group, there she was. I was like, I know her. And I feel like even though we don't spend much time together, we're fast friends. So Lisa Russell is with Trinot, same company I'm with. She is a Ruby. She is taking names and kicking. I guess I'll just say beep. And she is a Ruby, which is amazing. She has won a builder package. She is also on her way to not only her first trip. You've had several trips. Yeah. Because last time you couldn't get to Portland to get on the plane. You have faced so much diversity, and I want to talk about that. But first I want to start with, and I don't normally talk this much in the beginning, but I want to set the stage for Lisa. Let's talk about your life now and what you're doing, and then we'll talk about what your interruption was. And maybe there's more than one. There's one I know of. So tell us your story, Lisa.
Well, where I am now is better than I was a year ago. Yes, I am a Ruby in the company. I can actually say with confidence, I am a rising leader in the company. The products and the people, the owners have lifted me up this past year. I think that's why I'm where I'm at today. Not just because of my immediate family, but because of my Trinot family. They didn't let me stumble. They didn't let me disappear. Between them and my faith, I'm better today. I am very much better. I can wake up in the morning and not be super sad. I can wake up and know that I've got things to do. I've got people to bless. I'm doing so much better. I wish I could find the words, but I think you can see and possibly hear in my voice that I am in a much better place.
I can totally see it in your face, not only healthy, but emotionally.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us what your interruption was?
Okay. I'm going to try to do this without crying. Okay.
You can cry. You can cry.
I probably will. Last year in August, my husband and I, so I've been in the company for 2.5 years. My husband and I hit that rank of Ruby August 31st. It was a big deal. There was lots of excitement. The people that were on the Zoom with me when I hit it we're, hooting and hollering and clapping. And my husband, Todd, comes in here and he's like high-fiving me and telling me how proud he is of me. It was just a very exciting evening. So that was August 31st. September 1st, he was packing up and getting ready to go hunting with his son. He left probably around 12 or 1 o'clock that next day. We hugged like 15 times. He gave me all the kisses, all the I love yous, and I'll see you soon. And then he took off, and then I went on about my day. And then the next morning I got up and I had a Zoom on that Saturday. And right as I started the Zoom, I got a phone call, and it was from my stepson. And honestly, because his mom was sick with cancer and not doing well, I really thought he was calling to tell me, hey, I'm on my way back to town. Can you take the grandkids? Mom's not doing well. Dad's packing up the hunting place and he'll be home soon. That was not the phone call. The phone call was, I said, hey, what's up, Nick? And he says, Dad passed away. And I was like, wait, what? What? Hang on. And so the person that I was on the Zoom with, luckily I knew her and she is a friend of mine. I held up my finger like, hang on 1 second. And I was like, wait, what did you just say? And in between him crying and driving, he's trying to tell me. And I'm like, stop. I just kept saying, stop, Nick, quit lying to me. And then I said, I just looked at my person on the Zoom and I said, I got to go. And I just clicked off. And then I'm talking to him. He goes, Kaylee, which is my daughter, she'll be there in just a second. And I was like, stop. This is no. And I'm crying and I'm like screaming at him because I think he's lying to me and playing this dirty joke on me. And I told him, I said, if you're playing a joke on me, just tell me. I'll be mad at you, but I'll be fine. It's fine. It wasn't a joke. Before I even got off the phone with him, his wife got here, my daughter-in-law, and I just looked at her and I kept telling her over and over again, you're lying. Y'all are playing a joke. This is awful. Don't do this. But it's okay if it's a joke. It's okay. And she's crying and I'm crying and I don't even know what is going on right now. Like, I just kissed my husband yesterday. I just hugged him. I just told him I loved him, And I remember I just kept saying to him over and over, I'm like, you really don't want to go hunting. You really want to stay home with me. You know you're going to miss me. And he goes, I'll be back. Don't worry. He goes, it's only a week. Honestly, Lori, I cannot even tell you what happened after that. I think I made 2 phone calls, 3. I called 2 of my closest friends and I called my daughter and I said, you have to be here now. And she lives in Tennessee. She got on a plane and she got out here. But I know that my 2 super close friends kind of took over my phone, just kind of was here for me. And before I even knew it, Lori, I had over probably about 50 people at my house to come and support me and hold me up and shake their head in disbelief. Everybody was doing that. I kind of checked out. That was September 2nd. So September, October, half of November, I just kind of checked out of life. Tried to understand what the heck just happened to me. We're young. We're 50s. He was a pillar of health. He had just went to the doctor and had his normal physical. He just went and got roto-rootered because, you got to do that after 50. And everything came back great. And he had a massive heart attack. And they call it the widowmaker. And that's because just like that, he was gone. My whole life changed and went upside down when that happened. But the people with my company, the owners of the company, the top leaders of the company, my friends, my family, oh my gosh, they literally kept me alive because I was so sad and I missed my husband. I still miss my husband, but I went to probably the darkest place I've ever gone to in my life. And I don't wish anybody to ever experience this, but if you do, it is horrible. It is gut-wrenching. It breaks your heart, but you'll be okay. It just takes time. It takes time.
I remember when you got Ruby and we were all so happy and it was like the next day. What? And I know all of us didn't know what to do. And there's so many things I want to talk to you about. For instance, the stupid things people say to grieving people.
Right.
We'll get to that. What really hit me is it wasn't too long after that. You felt like you disappeared. And I think in my heart, you grieved well because you grieved.
Yeah.
You didn't try to push it down, but yet you showed up where you needed to. And I'll never forget at that conference we went to when Rob got up there. And I've done an interview with Rob. He talked about what happened. Can you tell us that story?
Todd was, my husband, was CFO of a company. So he's always been the numbers guy, how to make money, how to save money. When we joined Trinot, and because we have such a wonderful wealth department, Todd looked into it, and we already had life insurance somewhere else, but he looked into it and he had multiple meetings with Rob. I remember he came into the office and he said, "Babe, we are changing our life insurance to Trinot Wealth." And I was like, okay. I mean, I never really questioned him when he would have these changes that he wanted to make as far as finances, because I knew it was always to be for the better for us. So when he said that, I was like, okay, sure. Do I need to do anything? He said, no, but I just wanted to let you know. He said, I'm going to let our guy at our other insurance place, let him know. So that was in August that the Trinot life insurance went into effect. And because we were paid up with our other life insurance until the middle of September, even though Todd's not here to take care of me, he couldn't have planned it any better. Not saying that it was a plan, but I'm just saying for him to be able to still take care of me, to where when he did pass away, both life insurances were still in effect. And Rob, because it was so soon that Todd passed away, after getting the life insurance portfolio, there was an investigation that had to be done. They kind of reached out to Rob. They're like, do you know these people? Like, would she ever kill her husband? I'm like, Rob was like, no, what? But they have to do their due diligence before they're going to pay out this lump sum of money. I had to go through a lot of hoops and doctors, and Todd didn't have a lot of doctors. So it really was super easy to do. It was just took a while to get it done. But I remember Rob stayed with me the whole time, checked on me every week, whether it was text message, a phone call, email, stayed on top of the life insurance people, made sure I was taken care of. Again, another aspect of Trinot that actually takes care of us. That was a big deal for Rob to really make sure that I didn't get forgotten. And I love that.
It's such a beautiful story. I remember we were all in tears, thousands of us, bawling our eyes out for our friend Lisa. It wasn't long before I saw you back on Facebook Live doing your makeup. And some days you would say, I can't do this. Some days you would do it, but you kept showing up. And I think for me, through COVID, I'm not lonely. But I was alone because our bubbles had shrunk. But then when they opened back up, people didn't show up. They weren't showing up. And there you were in your grief. You were showing up without your makeup. You didn't care what people thought. But your message was always, I'm your friend. It was like I was having coffee with you. I loved that so much. And that's why when I saw you on that Zoom call, I was like, there's my friend. And I realized you didn't even know me. And, you know, I work in radio, so people will say, oh, you're Lori. Like, I don't know them, but they'll recognize my voice. But that's how it was for me. I was like, I know her. And I remember one of your videos, we were talking about reels of your husband's butt had gone viral. Tell us about that.
Todd despised social media. He said it was nothing but drama and people getting on there and being mean, and he hated social media. But when we joined Trinot, he decided, okay, I'll get an Instagram account. He had a candle company, Howling Wolves, and so he would make candles. He loved candles. He sold his candles on IG, but he would also talk about Trinot on IG. But it was a very simple platform for him, and I thought it was great. He would share about the dogs, the chickens, Trinot, his candles. And then one night, I was feeling rather feisty, and he was standing at the counter with his back to me. I started playing this music from a reel, and he started dancing to it, and I was like, Well, he never saw me. He has his back to me. Oh, sorry. I snort still.
It made me so happy.
And I just I said, I'm going to do this. And so I used the music and I started recording him. And he's just shaking his booty and like that. And it was so cute. And so when I got through and I stopped it, he turned around, he goes, did you record that? And I was like, maybe. And he goes, don't you post that? And I was like, maybe. And so I did. Lori, I got over 4.2 million views, and Facebook paid me $500 because of that one video.
Wow.
And you know what Todd said?
What?
I'll shake my butt for you anytime you want me to.
I don't know if it was when I saw it, I thought I heard you say in it, he's going to kill me.
Yes. And it was written on there too. Yep. Sure did.
I love your spontaneousness. I love your sense of humor. And I love your welcome. If I could say 3 things about Lisa, one of the big ones would be welcome. It's always as though you're saying come. And one of my big things with podcasting is how people always say, you guys, hey, everybody. And they think their heart is gold. They think they're including everyone. But you came from this place of, you never said, you guys. I always felt like you're talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like you knew me. And that was the connection I made in radio, because when I talk on the radio, I'll say, hey, did you know this song came out in 1967? I don't say, hey, you guys. It's so overused that now I can hardly listen to podcasts. I give them 3 you guys and I'm done. And a lot of Zoom calls I was on, because during COVID, we were on Zoom for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I paid for a financial course and I had to leave it because you guys need to know. And what that did is it made me feel other. I recognized that with my social services and radio, that was the connection. But I had recognized that about you before. And so when I really realized that, I was like, Lisa is such a prime example of that, because you weren't trying to prove anything. You were just having coffee with your friends, talking about your dogs and chickens. And it was such a beautiful thing. And I think your heart is so for others.
Oh, thank you.
And even in your grief, I saw your love for others. I saw you celebrating others. In grief, it sounds like you had great support. But what I've recognized as my sister walks through this, and people, they don't mean to, they just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But some of the things, can you think of some of the good things people said that felt supportive rather than about them, not you?
Funny that you asked that, because I myself know that when I see somebody that is grieving or going through a hard time, not necessarily a death, but just going through some struggles, that I'm very careful with what I say. And I don't know if that's just my upbringing in the South or what, but it's not always, I'm praying for you. That's almost like a generated response. I do say that. I do say, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. There are no words. You will be in my prayers. That's heartfelt, and I mean that 100%. Honestly, everybody that was around me never said, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it wasn't robotic. And there were a lot of people that were here. Katrina Jensen, for one. I mean, Heather, so many people stayed with me for every night. Like they were here. They did not leave me alone. And the one thing that stood out is they did not have any words. There's nothing I can say to make you feel better. There are no words. You already know that we are just as devastated as you, because Todd impacted a lot of lives. To me, that was better than a robotic, I'm so sorry for your loss. You're in my prayers. It wasn't just a response that everybody does. Everybody had genuine no words for me, except for they loved me and they're here. And that helped more than anything else, knowing that I could call them anytime. My friend Valerie, she said, if you need anything, you call me, I'll be there. And so I reached out to her one night because I was having a really bad day. And I reached out and I said, hey, what are you doing? And she goes, nothing. What do you need? I said, I need you here. I'll be there in 20 minutes. That's all the words that she gave me. And then she came here, and you know what? I didn't have to entertain her. I didn't have to cater to her. She walked in here and I just was me, and I cried, and we watched TV. I didn't talk sometimes. She was just here. Remember this. When people go through something like this, and I'm just going to say death, when somebody loses their soulmate, their lover, their bestest friend in the whole wide world, there are no words. Just be there for them, whether it's to watch them cry, watch them breathe. And I'll never, ever, ever forget this. So that convention, after Rob Riley got up there and talked about the scenario that we went through, Jennifer Dowd came up to me. And you know who Jennifer is? She is at the top of the company. She is my friend. I can say she is my friend. We're not just in a company. She is my friend. She came up to me and she gave me her phone number. And she said, Lisa, in the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, all you have to do is call me. And even if it's just us laying in bed and I put the phone next to me and you put the phone next to you and you just need somebody to be there with you, I'm here. Those are the biggest words to me. I'm here.
I did an interview with a woman named Theo Boyd, and her book is called My Grief Is Not Like Yours. And she said the similar thing, be there. But she also said, which you are saying, if it wasn't for my fairy blonde mothers.
Yes.
And she said, we'd watch TV, I'd cry, I'd go back to bed, but there were no words. Sometimes I think we underestimate the power of being.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to shop. Just being in that room to support, that helps tremendously.
So it's been over a year and you talk about that you're doing better, but it doesn't go away. Can you just say a little bit about the firsts and what that was like for you, the firsts?
Wow. Well, think about it. He passed away on September 2nd. His birthday was October 18th. Thanksgiving was November. Christmas was in December. Then New Year's, no midnight New Year's kiss. Then there's Valentine's Day. Then there was my birthday. And he always showered me with not necessarily gifts, but love on my birthday. He always, Mother's Day, I'm not his mother, but he would always get me a card telling me how much he appreciated me. And then the year anniversary come around. So I literally hit all the first in the very beginning. September 2nd this year, me and some friends got together. We went up to the cemetery. He's not there, but we went up there anyway. I just touched the crypt that he's in and cried. And then we went out to eat for brunch and just talked in memories and laughed. My friend Karen lost her husband a couple of years ago, but he had cancer and she knew it was coming. They both did. We were super close to them. Him and Todd were super close friends. She kept telling me, guiding me through my year. And she said, I don't know what it is, but after you hit that year mark, it's invigorating to mean it's, you made it. You got through the year. You got through the first. Let's go. And after that, September 3rd, the very next day, I felt different. I wasn't happy. I wasn't, okay, well, I'm not ever going to think about this again. It was, okay, I did it. I am strong. I am strong-willed. I still have to take care of me. Let's go. That's what I've done. And every day I think about Todd. Every morning I get up, there's a picture of him in my kitchen and I say good morning and I kiss him on, with my finger. And sometimes I talk to him. It's not easier, but it's definitely doable now. Again, I keep myself busy with my business. I keep myself busy with my chickens and Steely Dog. Oh my gosh. I'm doing it. Getting on to do my makeup, Lori, I tell you, I say this every single day when I do it. At the end, I thank everybody that hopped on and chatted with me because they're my friends and they're here in my state, city, and they're far away in Boston, Massachusetts. They're all over, but they hop on and they keep me company. And that's every morning, and that sets my day up for success. I mean, it just puts me in a great mood. So that's why I still do my makeup every morning.
I love that. So what I really noticed, Lisa, is you say you feel better. You also look better. I know that you're coming out of this grief, but I think that there's something else. Can you tell us how you've been losing weight?
Well, okay. So, when I was in high school, I was a size 0 in Jordache. A 0. And then I met Todd. I moved to Oregon. I got happy. There's Starbucks on every corner with those great yummy drinks that are super fattening for you. I gained a lot of weight. Very uncomfortable. My knees hurt. My shoulders hurt. Everything hurt. My hips hurt. And I got tired of buying bigger clothes. Our company, Tronot, came out with a product that, and I have to tell you, I think, Lori, you know this, but my background is pharmacy. So 25 years of pharmacy. I used to work in pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, but I also used to teach pharmacy techs. The knowledge about drugs is there. The knowledge about supplement. When our company came out with the Transform and it changes sugars and carbs into fiber, I was like, oh my gosh, I want this. Last September it came out, and so we were able to buy the Transform. So I started taking it then. And granted, that was during a very hard time. And so I wasn't eating a lot, but I still was not eating the greatest food for me.
Well, grief and comfort food just go together.
Well, yeah. And I'm really proud of myself because I love tequila. I love margaritas. It would have been super easy for me to just crawl into that bottle and look for that worm, but I didn't. And I'm proud of myself for that. But yeah, I still didn't eat. Some nights I had cereal for dinner, which is not good, but that's what I felt like making myself. So I started taking the Transform. As the months were going and I was still taking the Transform, I was starting to eat a little bit better because it just, I don't know, it kind of made me not crave the sugary, carby stuff, but more like vegetables. And I started dropping some weight. And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep going with this. And I'm not exercising because it hurt my knee too much to exercise. So then in March of this year, they came out with part 2, which is the powdered drink. And this drink activates your GLP-1 hormone and your AMPK, which is what we need in order to kind of fight the fat and fight the carbs and the sugars. So when you partner those two together, I've been on Transform since September of last year, and I've been on the Activate since March of this year. And it is October 23rd, and I'm down 91 pounds. 91 pounds. And that is huge because it's a healthy weight loss over time. It's not a get skinny quick because you're going to gain it all the way back. It has been me changing how I'm eating, not on purpose, because what I'm craving. So I crave more vegetables. I crave more salads, the protein, not so much the sugary stuff. To lose it healthy like that, it'll be harder. I mean, I'm sure it can, but it'll be harder for me to gain it back because I'm already in that mode of what I want to eat and how much. I don't eat a full meal. I split it with people, and I have pictures that come up in my memories, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my face was so fat. And I think also we have a enzyme that helps with inflammation in your body. So I think I had a lot of inflammation too, but oh my gosh, that DHS kit, it's not just for losing weight. It's for all over metabolic health. And I think that's exactly what I needed, was to reset my body and get healthy again. So yeah, it's huge difference in me.
Lisa, if somebody wants to talk to you or order this from you, how do they reach out to you?
You can find me on Facebook because I am public. Just look up Lisa Russell, and I don't know what picture my husband's on there right now, but I do have a website, and it's Tronot.com, TRANONT.com/ Lisa Russell, one word. And that's my website. But yeah, I would say look for me on Facebook. I'm on TikTok and I'm on IG. So I'm on all 3 platforms because I love TikTok. So I post my content there. I love IG because I have a lot of people that I follow there. And Facebook is how I make my money. Like I can reach so many so many people on Facebook. And that's how I really work my business, is just from my phone.
We can have coffee with Lisa while she puts on her makeup.
Every single morning.
Lisa, this has been such a delight. And like I say, you are a friend before we know you.
Yeah, thank you.
But what I want to conclude with, or what I want to end with, is what is it that you really want us to know?
Considering what this conversation has mostly been about, which is my past year and what I've endured, what I want people to know is this. No matter what struggles you are going through, it doesn't matter. Death, loss of a job, loss of a child, it doesn't matter. It can get better. The one thing you have to remember is that you are important, and taking care of you first before you can even think about taking care of anybody else. You should be your number one priority, period. And I had to learn that the hard way and start saying no to people. And actually, I've lost some people along the way as friends or even family members because I choose positivity over toxic. It's okay to walk away from friends or family if they are not bringing you joy. And that's what I tell my 3 kids a lot is, if something or somebody does not bring you joy, you do not need them in your life. Be happy. Take care of you.
Lisa, thank you so much for your wisdom, your honesty, and your candidness in sharing your grief.
Thank you very much for this day.
If you love this podcast, here's a big ask. Will you share with your friends and family, subscribe, give us a review, and a 5-star rating so that others looking to reinvent their lives will be able to get the help they're looking for? Thank you in advance.